Alright, I'm ready to present these Japanese style sawhorses, or I call them saw stallions. They're 3.5 meters long, and they are connected with sorry, had to be obviously this side, chipped out hole, with these mortise and tenon posts and legs and the beam on top. And these are my Lusitanica poles. These are 5x5s, and I'm going to use them to support the larger 6x6 timbers as I'm working on them to make our house. And here I've experimented with some square pegs, and then some more European style round pegs, and just figuring out what's harder to do, a round hole or a square peg, or a round peg rather. Square hole, round peg. This is the machine that I'm using. It's from Japan. It's called a hollow chisel mortiser, and it's awesome. It's from Japan, runs on 100 volts, which is why I have this large transformer. This thing's 24 kilos, and it is pretty versatile. You can unclamp it, which then allows you to just roll it along your timber, and it has these rollers right here to make it easier, which is just one of those little details. You go, great, would have been fine just being metal, but they just added a roller to make it easier. Then you've got a lever here which allows the chisel to move once you've clamped it in place with this lever. So you clamp it in place, then you move it side to side, and then you can also go and wind this little handle, and that makes the whole unit travel side by side. So it allows you to clamp the machine into the location that you want, and then fine tune it by moving the chisel into the right place. And if you're curious, this is what the chisel looks like. So basically it is a monster. This is a 30 mil, and it has this beautiful single spiral, which is a Asian style of drill. Most European drills have a double spiral, double helix, or whatever you call it. This has a single cutting face, and that's why you have this funky looking spiral system. And that sits cozily and snugly in here. This hits the wood first, starts scooping it out. Then it has a little chip breaker here, cutting the chips off. And then once that hole is cleared fully, then the machine is pushing this big square chisel down into the wood. And that's why this has to be mirror sharp. And that takes a bit of time to get that going. And this one's a little bit slogged out, it's second hand, but it still does an amazing job. And I ended up getting a 24 millimeter one, because it just drives it much faster. And so even though I like the sort of chunkiness of this 31 for most of the stuff that I'm doing, it makes more sense to go with a 24. And this is what the pockets look like. This is a chunk of eucalyptus, and I had a bit of trouble drilling into some of my dry mac, and I thought maybe I was going to have a hard time with hardwoods, but actually it turned out to be easier in eucalyptus than macrocarp, I think, because the density allows a cleaner cut, and macrocarp has a tendency to sort of fray. So yeah, that's what it looks like.